This is a TBT news update. I'm Tyrone Bowman. These are the headlines. COP26 targets 2 weeks to stop disasters, says Paris Agreement architects. Appeals court slows January 6 committee's effort to access Trump White House records. Europe weighs border walls as migrant mass in Belarus at Poland's frontier are returning the corner on COVID-19 treatments. In Portugal, it's now illegal for your boss to call outside of work hours. According to The Guardian, world leaders will have to return to the negotiating table next year with improved plans to cut greenhouse gases because the proposed targets agreed at the COP26 summit are too weak to prevent disastrous levels of global heating. The three architects of the Paris Agreement have warned. Christina Figueres, the former UN climate chief who oversaw the 2015 Paris summit, and Laurence Troubanier, the French diplomat who crafted the agreement, have told The Guardian the deadline is essential if the world is to avoid exceeding its 1.5°C temperature limit. Laurent Fabius, the former French foreign minister, who also oversees Paris, added, in the present circumstances, targets must be enhanced next year. A federal appeals court on Thursday granted a short-term delay in the January 6 Select Committee's access to Donald Trump's White House records. A three-judge panel of the United States Court of Appeals for the D.C. Circuit, including President Joe Biden's first and only appointee to the court, Ketanji Brown Jackson, will instead hear arguments in the matter on November 30th. Some of these names are hard to pronounce, but I will do my best. A standoff according to the Wall Street Journal, a standoff over the fate of thousands of migrants camped in the forests of Belarus trying to enter Poland has pushed the European Union to embrace steps its leaders once considered controversial, explicitly paying for fences at the EU's frontiers and pushing back people who attempt to cross. Before the migration crisis of 2015, when over 1 million asylum seekers poured into Europe at the height of the Syrian civil war, the EU traditionally deemed accepting refugees to be a humanitarian imperative. Now, amid growing popular backlash and the rise of anti-immigration political forces, that position is shifting. Are we turning the corner on COVID-19 treatments? When the vaccines against COVID-19 first started rolling out less than a year ago, there was widespread hope that it signaled the beginning of the end of the pandemic. As we head into another winter, however, things are much more uncertain than many people had hoped. As much as we might want to put the pandemic behind us, the detail of the Delta surge and vaccine hesitancy have ensured that COVID-19 has lingered. But there's another new development on the horizon. That, in combination with vaccines, might really be a big game changer. In recent months, researchers have made some advances in figuring out how to treat COVID-19 once you've contracted it. Of particular promises are medications available in a form that should be especially useful in the fight against the virus: pills. Pills are easy to store and ship, making them a more feasible option for worldwide distribution, and they don't tax already overloaded hospital resources during the surge. And last but not least, the country recently introduced, ever had a persistent boss who won't stop messaging you once you've left work or logged off? Well, in Portugal, that behavior is now illegal. The country recently introduced a law that bans employers from contacting workers outside their regular hours by phone, message, or email. The employer must respect the privacy of the worker, including periods of rest and family time. The new law stipulates any violation, it continues, constitutes a serious offense and could result in a fine. A similar rule gave French workers the right to ignore after hour business emails in 2017. I'm Tyrone Bowman. This has been a TBT News Update.